Now this is bringing it back old school. We're talking about Carlos Fuente Sr. and the last cigar he created, debuting in 2013. Oh, this is going to be all right. It's Eat, Drink, Smoke. I'm Tony Katz, and that right there is America's favorite amateur drinker, Fingers Malloy, and this is the Casa Cuba Divine Inspiration, a cigar that is 6 1/8 inches long. Always makes Fingers Malloy laugh. And the ring gauge is a 47. That's the diameter of the cigar, or how thick it is around. Again, with the laughter. So a 64 ring gauge would be a full 1 inch around. Now, I'll tell you, you guys know we record the show. I quite literally stopped the recording and I said, do I have this right that this is a Habano wrapper? Because this whole month we're doing Habano wrappers. And when this cigar first came out, it's actually, if you go back to some of those old reviews, undisclosed. Nobody knew anything. Then we knew it was Ecuadorian. And then the good people at Neptune Cigar describing it as an Ecuadorian Habano. And that's where I saw it and doing the research. I'm like, okay, I'm not crazy. It is a Habano wrapper, but it is an Ecuadorian wrapper. And the binder and filler coming out of the Dominican Republic. It's oily. It's a little gritty. It's got this weird brown, gray, like almost shimmery hue to it. It's a beaut. And for 6 1/8 by 47, this feels good in the hand.
It has some heft.
Right.
It's got a really nice hand feel. The band is, listen, I'm a fan of a band like this. It's small. It's not getting in the way, but yet it lets you know it's there.
Right. Not trying to be pretentious. Right. Not trying to say, hey, look at me. I'm all special with my 3 bands and my exclusive. No. I could do it with 1 band. I can smoke the cigar in 1 band.
That's exactly right. So, yeah, I'm really impressed with this so far. I lit this about 5 minutes ago, and right on the light, I got a nice bit of what I think is white pepper. Sometimes I struggle with spice when it hits me in the face like that, but a nice bit of white pepper, I believe, and then that has subsided a little bit, and now I'm just getting a nice bit of wood.
Yeah, oh, there it is. First thing off the tongue, front to the tongue, to the tip, whoop, I just licked a pine tree. That is right. Not a pepper hit though. Interesting.
No?
Give me a second. Just working my way in, boo boo.
Good for you. Sometimes you got to ease your way in. You got to dip your toe into the cigar.
Yes.
What?
Now, Casa Cuba, you may be thinking and getting it confused with Casa Fuente. The Casa Fuente cigar was only available in Vegas until recently, and then they shut down the Casa Fuente that was there. The Casa Cuba has been around for a while, and there's the Doble and the Tres. There's some nice cigars done in this Casa Cuba line. The Divine Inspiration, depending on who you are, a cut above, but always depending on who you are. I just started this, and we are just starting this. We've lit. We have cut a straight cut there on the cap end. That's where you cut from on the cap end, where you're smoking from. The foot end is where you're lighting. You want to toast the foot, get it a little warm, get a little heat going, and then work on getting that orange, a few puffs, and then you're off to the races. You want to get your notebook out. What did you eat today? What did you drink today? The weather, hot, boo-boo. Stupid, hot, sweaty, gross. Real field temperatures of over 100 degrees in Indianapolis, Indiana. Stinks to high heaven.
The humidity is crazy. I can't do a thing with my hair today.
By the way, your mullet is looking problematic.
Huh?
Yeah. I cannot wait to get a haircut. I'm in such need. And I used to have the longest hair in the world, and now I'm like, nah.
You know, a lot of people would have a hard time believing the story you told me about how long your hair used to be.
Down to my waist. Twice I did that in my life. I got married with that hair. Down to my waist, donated my hair to Locks of Love twice.
No kidding. Did you put it in did you do dreadlocks? Did you put it in a ponytail? Did you?
Oh, it was in a ponytail. Yeah. It was slicked back in the ponytail. And I had a goatee at the time, and it was not a good look for me at all. I do not know what my wife was thinking, but she was like, you know what, that'll work. And I'm like, you really don't want me to meet other women, do you? She's like, nope, I know what I got. Anyway, it's very hot in Indianapolis. That's where we started from. in case you're wondering. Take your notebook out. What did you eat? What did you drink? The temperature all can affect your palate. And then take the cigar, break it into thirds. First third, second third, and the final third. What are the flavors that you're getting out of each third? You write them down, no matter how weird, base, esoteric, odd, strange they are. Then, when you try that cigar, a month from now, 6 months from now, you try it again, you do it again, you check your through line, you check your notes, see what you really got out of it. The pepper part, okay, there's definitely a spice build, middle tongue. But really, it is that bit of woody that's happening there, but it's... I think there's a nuttiness going on, and I could totally be wrong. I'm paired with coffee. You're paired with a diet soda.
Yes.
Right. So I could be wrong that the coffee is playing on me and providing that little bit of cream thing going on. Do you get any creaminess?
Not at this point. I'm still trying to get over that white pepper from the very beginning. It's subsided a little bit, and then that wood has kind of presented itself, but right now it's dominated by that white pepper. Now, you said this is from 2013, correct?
If I have it right, that's when the release was.
So,
Carlos Fuente Sr. last blend.
If you were to guess, how many times have you smoked this cigar over 13 years?
Okay, but I wasn't really made aware of this cigar until right before COVID.
Okay.
Right? My own growth in cigars. I've had a dozen of these in my life. I have had this cigar before. I do like what Casa Cuba does. I find that there are so many things that I want to try that I do. It's not a regular in my humidor, because now the wood spice is matching with that pepper spice. And here we are. And I'm reminded why this is lovely, but maybe not my kind of lovely. We talk about Habano, and you expect to get that kind of spice from it. But the white pepper, here's how I've always described it. Black pepper is a spice that lays on the tongue. Red pepper is a spice where you actually feel heat. Baking spice is where you feel the presentation of tingle and maybe of heat, but it doesn't excel. And it kind of blends better into the other notes of the cigar. I find black pepper, white pepper, red pepper stand on their own. That's how I do it. White pepper to me bounces off the palate. White pepper is bright. When I get a white pepper cigar, you can feel it. It's not laying low. It's punching up into the roof of the mouth. So is that utilizing my definition?
Yes.
Is that what you're experiencing?
That's exactly what I'm experiencing. And it is going away as I get further into the first third of the cigar.
For sure.
But you kind of had a reaction when you lit yours, but it was wood. For me, it was the pepper that hit me right away.
Well, the question is this in the humidor? And we're going to break down whether or not this is in the humidor. I'm going to tease it a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, if you can find it, because the divine inspiration from Casa Cuba, not always the easiest one to find. We will get into that. We've got another bourbon to celebrate America 250. A lot of people did a lot of good things. This time, it's Maker's Mark. We've got that as well. Find everything we do at eatdrinksmokeshow.com and on Instagram, Eat Drink Smoke Podcast. Get over there and be a part of what we're doing. It was Fingers Malloy who realized that America turned 250 years old and we didn't even have cake.
What were we thinking?
I honestly don't. We had bourbon in an eagle.
That's what we were thinking.
That's yes, correct. It's Eat, Drink, Smoke. I'm Tony Katz. That is Fingers Malloy. Find everything at eatdrinksmokeshow.com. And Fingers said, we got to have some cake for America 250. And I said, yeah, okay, fine, but just a bite. And thus, he finds the Cake Bites. Not just any Cake Bites. Snickers Cake Bites. And a round of applause for Snickers Cake Bites.
Sure.
Right there. Fingers, tell us about the Snickers Cake Bites.
So the Snickers Cake Bites, I was at my local grocery concern, walking with...
Grocery concern?
Walking with Fingers Malloy Sr.
I just stopped off at the Haberdasher on my way to the cobbler, and then...
Yes, and I said to Fingers Malloy Sr., man, I could go for a pastry. And we're walking through the grocery store and came across this box, and I thought, this would be an excellent grocery store find. Yeah.
We don't do grocery store fines.
Oh.
We do gas station fines.
Yeah, but I didn't want to lie to Eat, Drink, Smoke and say I got this at a gas station when I got it at a grocery store.
Right.
But it was a find. So what should we do?
This
is all very confusing.
Just say you just wanted to try some cake. You don't have to make it a thing. Not everything has to be a production. Okay, Liza Minnelli?
It's Liza.
We're trying to get you on the show. Seriously. Every week, there will be some reference. Like Hirschfeld writing Nina into a cartoon, we will have the Liza Minnelli reference.
Wow. But it's 2026. Everything has to be a theme.
Oh, yeah?
A thing. And a themed thing.
A meme. It's a meme. And you said a theme when you were trying to say a thing.
Yes, but, because we're... No, I'm not going to say we're influencers. Because that...
Oh,
yeah. But anyway, so I found these Snickers Cake Bites.
Right.
Do you want to go over?
I really do.
The deets?
Wait,
like
you pull one out. Pull one out for yourself right there. These are not refrigerated.
Holy cow.
They're large.
Look at that.
That is a full-size cake bite. You can give that out for Halloween. Give me the box.
Pack that into your lunch pail.
Right there. Now, these cake bites right here, Snickers Cake Bites, 220 calories. But it's a big, big thing right there. It's a big, it comes in a little tub. 12 grams of fat, 20 milligrams of cholesterol, 140 milligrams of sodium, 27 carbohydrate grams, 18 sugars, and includes 18 additional sugars, and 2 grams of protein, and includes no vitamin D. You want me to get you another one? That's you just threw yours away.
That was for the people who watch us on YouTube. Find us at Eat, Drink, Smoke on YouTube.
I won't go through all of the bad stuff that's in here for you, but it's big. Nope. It's the packaging. It's the packaging.
Oh,
look how disappointing! You get a tub, and it's cut into 3 pieces, so you can't even eat it like you're eating like a giant candy bar. It does have a little bit of weight to it, but it's cut into 3 pieces, so you feel like you're getting more, and you're not. You're not.
It looks like a finger cake.
Looks like a what?
Finger cake.
Like a what?
A finger cake.
I don't know what that is.
It's a cake. It looks like a finger.
Oh.
You never heard of a finger cake before?
No. All right, I'm going in.
Oh, good.
I'm going in. This is the Snickers Cake Bite. And what drew you to this, Fingers? What made you say, aha, shopkeep?
It was right by the register.
That's what I thought.
But I also, listen, I'm always hoping to find something for good radio. And I thought, Tony eating, are you a Snickers fan?
Shut your mouth.
Uh-oh. I can't tell if he's happy or not so much. He's got a mouthful of Snickers cake.
I don't know if it's Snickers, but it's perfect.
Really?
It's got a little bit of some crunchy in there, like the peanut. If there is a peanut butter, I don't really know.
Is there nougat?
It's sweet and cakey. It is sweet and cakey. That's awesome. It is sweet and cakey, which is how I describe myself on Tinder.
There it is.
You got to give it a go.
Nougat flavored cake. No marzipan.
But I can't tell you it's really nougat, right? I can tell you that with coffee, you would do that every day. Aftertaste is a little questionable.
How about with Mountain Dew?
Oh, absolutely not. He put that in. He just popped that in right there. He just popped that cake in right there. Yeah, you could eat the whole box. It's 220 calories per. You eat the whole box, it's 880 calories. Right? Perfect.
This is the first bit of carbs I've had in like 4 days.
Are you on a thing?
Yeah, I'm on a thing. And totally worth it.
Yeah.
Totally worth it.
It's really well done.
The only thing I'm concerned about.
What's that?
The ingredients list there. It's as long as War and Peace.
Oh yeah. So you start with. I'm not reading this whole thing.
Was this even baked?
No, I'm not so sure. Is this bad for you? Yes. Very, 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 very bad for you. 220 calories.
It's really bad for you.
Right. It's terrible. It's just. It's really well. And the reason it's well done is that the cake is cake. It's exactly what you would expect. I'm trying to think of what the store-bought cake, like, is it a Pepperidge Farm thing or an Entenmann's kind of thing or something like that?
Of course, Pepperidge Farm's coconut cake is the perfect grocery store dessert.
Is it?
Oh, outstanding.
Really?
On my birthday, I get 2.
One for you and one for the family?
Both for me.
That's what I...
Because the cake, it's a regular size cake, and it says serves 8, and I laugh. Serves 8, served 1.
I haven't had it. I like that. Like, I don't like coconut in general. Like, coconut in Thai food, sure. Coconut in other things, no, it's not a flavor for me. But
they put coconut in Thai food?
Oh, yeah. Coconut milk? Sure.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. And there is a new place near us, by the way, near where I live, excellent. Excellent if you want to go. But
coconut place?
No, it's Thai place.
Oh, okay.
Well done. You win that round. I forgot what I was going to say. I have no idea.
Here's what
Dunkin' Donuts, when they actually made donuts that mattered, used to make a toasted coconut donut, toasted coconut crunch that I thought was the best. Absolutely terrific.
There's one thing missing from this. And if you really want the true Snickers experience,
yeah,
there are no nuts in this.
There are. It's just they're small. They're not. They don't provide enough crunch, and I think that's it. If it had a little more of that kind of Nestle Crunch crackle in it, and you would have the texture combination between the cake and that crunch, and then the softness of the chocolate around it, you'd be like, yes. Yeah, you're correct on that.
Good Lord, this is good.
It's good. How much was the box?
I believe it was on sale for $2.50.
Oh, that's a winner.
Yeah.
That's a winner for the kids when they've been good. And when they've been bad, eat it in front of them. And be like, sucks to be you.
Oh, these were in the pantry for a good 4 days, and it was amazing that nobody tore into the box.
Well, Agnes and Agnes Jr. and Agnes the Third, they've got a lot of willpower.
Yes, they do. More than I do.
Eat, drink, smoke. It is your cigar, bourbon, foodie extravaganza. I'm Tony Katz, and that right there is America's favorite amateur drinker, Fingers Malloy. We are smoking the Casa Cuba. This is the Divine Inspiration, 6 1/8 inches long, a 47 ring gauge Ecuadorian Habano wrapper, Dominican in the binder and the filler. And even after some Snickers snack cakes, which are excellent, they're really excellent. On a scale of 1 to excellent, they're excellent. If you could get that in a loaf, you would serve it.
Oh, you're not kidding. And I wonder if that'll happen.
Yeah.
I mean, you hit the nail on the head when you said how good that would be with coffee.
I'm drinking coffee. It was that good.
Yeah. But my problem is there wasn't enough there in the package.
Yeah.
And there's something about when you have a serving like that and it's wrapped up, I would rather have it in a larger cake form that I'm cutting hunks off of the cake, cutting pieces off the cake, instead of, oh, I like this so much, I'm going to open up another package.
It's the kind of thing that if you were in a rush and you were having people over and you just wanted a little something, a half loaf at $7.49, and everyone could get a slice and just a little bit of sweet and the texture is right and everything else. It was actually quite impressive. I mean, we're talking about a freaking snack cake. Like it just got 3 Michelin stars. It's just for what that is. You're like, yeah, okay, that works. That can make a lot of people happy. And it does go pretty well with the cigar. I will admit, with that wood and with that spice that's laying on there, it's messing with the palate a little bit. But the construction is glorious on the Casa Cuba, a Divine Inspiration. And the draw is dead on. Dead on.
This is the second week in a row, too, where I feel like the amount of smoke coming off of these cigars is unreal.
And if you go to our YouTube page, look for Eat, Drink, Smoke, or you go on to Eat, Drink, Smoke podcast there on Instagram, you'll see the short of Fingers freaking out because we start talking and all of a sudden all the smoke takes over the room. It's very, very good stuff. Is this in your humidor? You know, we talked about the spice, talked about the wood we get off of this. I don't know if there's necessarily a creaminess that's coming from this. There's a little bit of nutty that's happening for me, and I don't know where that's coming from. Is this in your humidor for $15 a stick?
Yes, absolutely. This could be a once-in-a-week stick for me.
So you're okay with that spice play, that white pepper. That's really, look at you.
Yeah, I like it.
That's a big smile.
Yeah, I like it. I really do. And I'll be interested to see, as I get into the second, third, what happens with it. But that spice is there, and that wood has really started to pick up for me. But I'm not getting anything else. I'm not getting that nuttiness that you're talking about.
Yeah, and I don't know why I'm getting it. It could just be, my palate playing tricks on me. I was having coffee. I just had that thing. It could be, because I can't recall that I've ever gotten that before. But the wood and the spice there, maybe I've gotten like a ribbon of a sweetness, a creaminess before in this. But no, this one's a kind of like a nutty cream going on. Yes. Now, this sells when you can find it in a box of 30.
Okay.
Right? So that's a pretty big box right there. That's a lot of cigars. Now, to give you an example of where prices have gone, I went to take a look at Half Wheel. Half Wheel does some very, very nice work. And they looked at this cigar back in 2016.
Oh, no. Can I guess?
Yes, you can guess. In 2016, how much was this cigar?
You said this is
$15.
$15 now? $9.50.
$8.99. $8.99.
Wow.
That's crazy. And I couldn't find it everywhere because it's not something that you see every day. Yes, I found it online. I'm not going to say where, for $15. And I was looking to see if there are any other places I can find it. Nope. When it was unleashed, it was $8.99. Which today,
crazy.
It's all you would smoke. But my point is, if you can find a box and you can get the box discount, which often a tobacconist will offer, this is a box that, okay, I'm going to end up spending a few $100s on this box, 300 plus on this box. You split it with friends. Three friends. You each get 10. You had two other friends, 3 all total. You each get 10. Perfect. Even if you do it once a month, that's the way to take advantage of these things. You get to try a lot more stuff that way.
Yeah, and you're looking at some of the online retailers. Of course, we always try to shop local when we can. But online retailers, it's a lot of on back order.
Yeah.
Call us. We may have some in stock, that kind of thing. So it may be tricky to get your hands on one of these.
Divine inspiration from Casa, Cuba. Arturo Fuente. It's pleasant stick. Fingers, boy, it is time for News of the Week.
Well, let's just focus
that was a deep breath in.
Well, it's because I hesitate bringing this story up because it brings up a topic that isn't usually radio friendly.
Can I guess? I don't want to guess. Or I'll guess. I shouldn't guess. All right. I already know what you're going to talk about. So can I guess?
Sure.
It's about explosive diarrhea, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Good for you. You win a microwave. Congratulations.
The story is so gross and yet such a problem. Go ahead. Tell everybody about the explosive diarrhea.
So we have been hearing about this for last few weeks. And it felt like at a time it was kind of just isolated to a few states. And now it's spreading, at least throughout the Midwest, it seems like. The story I'm looking at, of course, we're based here in central Indiana from Fox 59. 200 plus cases of explosive diarrhea illness have been reported from this parasite. So is it cyclosporiasis?
Cyclosporiasis.
Yes, sporiasis. There you go.
That is how I believe it is pronounced. 34 states now across the country. What makes this weird is that first, it is a parasite. That's number one. Number two, one of the issues is they think it comes in food service, lettuce or something like that, as a lot of things do, but it doesn't wash off. And so this has been the whole issue. And when you eat it, you don't immediately get sick. It has basically an incubation period that could be anywhere from 2 days to 2 weeks. And then this thing kind of emerges, and that's when you get the stomach pains, you get fever, you get nausea, and then you get the woohoo. I didn't want to say explosive diarrhea again, so I went with woohoo. And it's rough. Now, no one has died from this. It's just annoying, painful, ugly. And Chef Andrew Gruel, celebrity chef, really, really good guy, good cat. He thinks that it is bagged lettuce. Taco Bell has decided to pull certain things off the menu just in case, because the last thing they want is be associated with woohoo.
Evergreen.
They don't need that in their life. But it's thought to have come from produce, from that world. And there's no real answer into how you track it down. And that's the problem. Usually when there's like a food sickness, or they're able to say, okay, it's this area and these people, we can interview them. We find out what they have in common. We know where the source was. If it's 2 weeks before you feel anything, hard to remember what you had, where you were, what you did. So it's much harder to track down.
So the question is, are you changing your behavior at all based on what's happening here?
We did talk about not buying any bagged lettuce. We did talk about getting organic, and hopefully that will change some things or make a difference, if you will. Have I changed going out to eat or anything like that? No, I have not done that. We had, as a family, Chinese food just last week.
Oh.
So, and here I am, fit as a fiddle.
But 5 minutes from now, it could be, woohoo! Is that what it is?
Look at you.
Is that what it is? Yeah.
So, no, have you?
Yes, I have. Well, first of all, I've totally and completely eliminated vegetables.
No. So brave.
Thank you.
So brave.
It's just my journey. But also today, I had a double cheeseburger that normally comes with lettuce, and I said, hold the lettuce, please. So
look at you.
Yeah, the struggle is real.
Right. Did you eat that with the bread?
No.
You are. He's committed, ladies and gentlemen.
For another week.
For what?
For another week.
For another week. Coming hot off the huge success we had where I questioned Southern recipes and decided that sweet tea is disgusting. Yeah. Well, tea is disgusting. And I cannot convince anybody that sweet tea isn't disgusting. If you grew up with sweet tea, if you grew up in the South, you think that I'm wrong, and I appreciate it. I love you. You love me. We can at least gather around some ribs and some brisket together and find something in common. Until this list, where it says you can make barbecue without a grill. Now, that's actually an oxymoron, or just a weird statement. I'll explain. It's Eat, Drink, Smoke. I'm Tony Katz, and that right there is Fingers Malloy. Find everything we do at eatdrinksmokeshow.com. Don't forget to get the podcast wherever it is you listen to podcasts. Just look for Eat, Drink, Smoke. Fingers Malloy, you were going to say.
I completely want to make sure that everyone knows that I love the South, and the fact that Tony Katz over here would badmouth the South.
Not true. It didn't happen.
Over sweet tea.
Nope. That's not what I said. What do I order? I order a Coke. What kind of Coke? Diet Coke. That's right. I know the South. I understand. You want to see how I work a grit? I'll show you. And I'm not even my cousin Vinnying the thing. I will show you how I do some grits. Don't question me, son. It's just sweet tea is disgusting. But right. There is this list from All Recipes. It's a couple years old now. Allrecipes.com, which I think does a nice job with recipes. Like it's a pretty good resource. This is 16 barbecue recipes you can make without a grill. Now, part of the problem is people confuse barbecue and grilling. These are two different things, and the difference is where the heat source is. Direct or indirect. Best basic methodology that I could give anybody, that barbecue is indirect heat and grilling is direct heat. True or false, Fingers Malloy?
You are correct, sir.
Thank you. So they have this list, and I just don't know how this comes through to people, that you can create barbecue, or maybe just the flavors, the concepts, without a grill, which is true.
Yes.
Of course it's true.
I've done it.
And they start with Carolina-style whole hog barbecue pork.
Okay.
Now, coming from a Jewish household, where I am the only person who eats pork, I never get to make it. And I said this summer I'm going to. Well, I'm going to. I'm going to borrow a friend's smoker. I am going to do pork shoulders and pork butts. I want to experience it. I want to try it. I want to play around with different sauces. I want to see can it be over smoked? Like, I'm very curious.
Why do you have to borrow someone else's smoker?
Because I won't put it on my smoker. Because my family won't eat it if I do.
But
I'd have to like really re-clean it and redo it.
Listen, I'm not questioning, that part of it, but why not just get like a cheap universal grill grate and put it on there?
That is the thing to do. That is the thing to do. It's really, they would. It's just I respect them and their decisions, and I'm totally down with them. I'm impressed by it. I was kosher in my younger days, right? I am not now. It's between me and God, and don't worry, we have plenty to talk about. So I do it that way. But I happen to love it. I happen to love a pulled pork. I think it is just fantastic. And this recipe is 2.5 pounds of baby back pork ribs, 1 3/4 pounds of pork shoulder roast, 1 1/4 pounds of pork tenderloin trimmed, 1 pound of pork belly skin removed, and 3/4 pound pork sirloin roast. What?
I've never seen anything like that.
And then kosher salt, brown sugar, smoked salt, smoked paprika. Now, smoked salt's a really interesting play on that. I like that idea. Black pepper, ground cumin, garlic powder, onion powder, and cayenne for the rub. And they're quite literally cutting this all up and then putting it on a piece of foil on a sheet pan and then putting it into a Dutch oven.
Okay.
So it's a little bit braising. It's a little bit crock pot mentality, and just let the heat kind of break that down and let it fall off the bone. It'll work. It'll certainly do.
And then you serve it in a chafing dish?
Well, if you're going to serve it to a lot of people, it'll keep it warm if it's in a chafing dish.
I just wanted to say chafing dish. But I have done pulled pork before in the house in an Instant Pot.
Yeah.
And the only reason why I don't try to make a habit of it, but my family, I like you, this isn't a kosher thing. It's just Agnes Jr. and Agnes III. They're not big meat eaters, and especially pork. So when I do make pulled pork, they usually pile barbecue sauce all over it. So I usually will shred it and then just add the barbecue sauce right to it when I make it in the house. Yeah. Versus when it's on the smoker, I don't do that. But it's in the house and it's, for the four of us, then I would do it that way. I would ask people who know more about this than I do. I'm asking you, Eat Drink Smoke Nation. The multiple types of pork, is that really necessary? Am I going to find it is a flavor conversation or it's a texture conversation? That's my curiosity. I need to do all those different types and search that out, and that seems hassle-filled. The return on investment.
Yeah.
Right? It's like you're putting a lot of work into this. Are you really noticing that much of a difference?
I don't know. Then they have oven-baked baby back ribs. Absolutely. No question. Of course can be done. Should be done.
I've done ribs in the Instant Pot before.
And worked?
Yeah, it worked. Finished them off on the broiler.
Oh, okay. Get a little char. Get a little caramelization.
Exactly. And then again with the sauce.
Right. Oven barbecued beef brisket. Absolutely. Of course you can. Of course you could do a brisket in the oven.
No, of course you can. But as far as flavor. So here's what I want to ask you. When you do something like this, have you ever used liquid smoke?
Okay. No. Now, it's going to sound like heresy, but any port in a storm. I'm okay if people try it. I'm okay if people do it. I just don't want people to think that they're getting the same thing that's going to come off of a smoker. Even the name here, and this is where it gets, kind of confusing. Oven barbecued beef brisket. That's not smoked. It's barbecued. And even that's got a different kind of connotation. You should expect something different happening from it. Now, growing up, we did briskets, but it was a sweet kind of brisket thing. It was with wine and jelly and to create the sweetness and that bark was no one smoked anything. We grilled. No one smoked anything until I once fed this to my parents. I was like, eat this. And they were like, what is happening? But there are definitely things you can do in the oven. So this is not a bad list, Fingers.
No. Kind of going off topic a little bit. One of the things I've wanted to do, and I've never attempted it.
Dance?
Oh, I've attempted to dance. You should see me at a wedding do the worm. Having said that, pastrami, making pastrami at home.
Should I stop you? We didn't talk about this. Go into the refrigerator.
Are you right now?
It's on day number 3 of the brine.
Good for you.
Day number 3, I have a 5-pound brisket. It's the flat. It is day number 3 of the brine with the brown sugar and the coriander and the ground mustard and the sugar. And I use kosher salt instead of a sea salt. Some people would suggest I like the kosher salt more. And then it will come out on Sunday, and I will smoke it. And there it will be. I've got the rub. I've got to just grind the coriander and the pepper and then rub it on there. We're going to see what happens.
Smoked pastrami.
Yeah. Yeah. Finishing it off on the smoker.
Nice.
Absolutely happy.
Do you make a habit of this?
First time ever.
Good for you.
This is my first ever pastrami. And so I used the recipe of Dr. Lou Profeta, who you can find him on LinkedIn. He's one of the 12 doctors on LinkedIn they say that you must follow. And he does this. And I got all the respect for the man in the world. So, I'll let you know.
Okay.
I'll let you know. Much more to get to, guys. This is Eat, Drink, Smoke. If you want a place to order meat from that's going to take perfect care of you, that is defiancebeef.com. And the new deal is stupid. Now, I ordered my full cow.
I heard him order the cow.
It's huge. I ordered the full cow. I have it like in this cow amongst all the ribeyes, all the tenderloins, the 2 full 13-pound briskets that are coming. There's somewhere around 300 pounds of ground beef coming my way.
And they said to you on the phone, conservatively, 300 pounds.
This happens to be a very large cow. Like, it is a very large. Some of them are a little bit smaller. This one is huge. And you can get yours quarter, half, or full. Indiana raised. Everything aged 21 days. The flavor is outstanding. And then packed, frozen, and sent to you right to your door, right into the chest freezer. And right now, you get yourself a quarter or a half or a full cow. Not only will you get free shipping, which is nuts, you're going to get a free mini share. And a mini share is a mix of 1-inch thick steaks like ribeyes or T-bones, a chuck, an arm, or a sirloin. You're going to get short ribs, cube steak, skirt steak, flank steak, and 5 pounds of ground beef. Add it on to your order. Just use promo code Eat, Drink, Smoke. Now is the time. Guys, get ready for summer. Get ready for the grilling. Get yourself real beef, incredible flavor, aged 21 days, from Indiana to you that you can trust and you want to feed your family. DefianceBeef.com. You use promo code Eat, Drink, Smoke, and you're not only going to get free shipping, you are going to get that mini beef share with all the good stuff. And you can give that stuff away or not. It's your choice. DefianceBeef.com.
Why aren't we going to go pick up your cow? We got to go up there. We got to visit the guys.
You want to go pick it up on ourselves?
Sure.
Just you and me. Take a road trip.
Yes. We'll get the flatbed out.
I can go with that.
Okay.
I can work with that. DefianceBeef.com. It is America's birth month. We should be celebrating all month long. America 250? Abso-freaking-lutely.
Some of us celebrate America every day.
Yeah, well, some of us are only drinking bourbon right now. It's Eat, Drink, Smoke. I'm Tony Katz. That's Fingers Malloy. Find everything at eatdrinksmokeshow.com. Came across this Maker's Mark, and I thought this was something they'd done for America 250. No. This is the Maker's Mark they do for Memorial Day. It is the Made for the Brave edition. This edition of Maker's Mark Cask Strength supports the work of POVAT. POVAT, by the way, Project One Vet at a Time. Helping U.S. veterans access the support they've earned. We thank you for your service. Signed by the people there at a Maker's Mark. This right here, Fingers Malloy, comes in at a very simple, very easy, very, very basic. 55.25% alcohol by volume or 110.5 proof, ladies and gentlemen.
Outstanding.
Getting the applause from Fingers Malloy as he applauds anything over 100 proof. That's a nice color. That's a nice color. A little bit of copper playing in there. Wouldn't say it's rather viscous, a little bit sticking to the glass as we drink out of our Eat, Drink, Smoke Kinsey glasses, soon to be available at eatdrinksmokeshow.com. It's a nice color. It's a nice presentation. It is the basic bottle, and as always, freaks me out that they spell whiskey W-H-I-S-K-Y. Not sure what's happening there. Someone from Maker's Mark, let us know if you would. 110.5 proof. This is batch 26-01. Any thoughts?
26-01
right,
is better than 26-00, but not as good as 26-02.
That's what I thought it.
I almost yelled line. Thankfully, the bottle was there for me to see with my non-cataract eyes.
Oh, hello. Check out that nose. Oh, that's delicious. That is oak.
You would never know this is over 100 proof.
The ethanol, you have to sniff this like you're Rick James in the 70s.
Rick James in the 70s? That's what you went with?
That's what I went with. That's as good as I could
played.
Do. See, I was going to go with a more recent Hunter Biden reference. I was like, maybe that's not correct for the show. So I went Rick James.
And too soon.
I said, who can I make fun of for their cocaine usage? I could have gone Stevie Nicks. I could have done that.
Too soon.
Really?
She's missed.
Stevie Nicks is dead?
No.
I didn't think so. You know who else is not dead? Liza Minnelli. You need to come on the show. We will fly you out, Liza.
Call me.
We just want that to happen. We've got our thing right there. That is, it's delicious. It's got the classic vanilla sweetness. It's got a classic caramel. It's got a classic oak. Wow.
It's everything you would want.
Oh, wow.
It's everything you would want. And again, the idea this is over 100. It's 110.4. Is that what you said?
110.5.
0.5. Pardon me.
Yeah.
Didn't mean to shortchange you, Maker's Mark. You would never know on the nose. Now, that's on the nose.
Yeah, and this is, they say that this is a cask strength bourbon, which is about coming out of the cask, no dilution, no changes or anything like that. And that's why you get the higher alcohol by volume. But enough of the sniffing. You're right, Fingers Malloy. Are you ready for this?
Tony, I've been ready for this all day.
Fingers Malloy is doing what is known as the Kentucky Chew. Moving the juice around the palate, getting a feel for the flavors. The first, I'm a believer in the 2 sips methodology. The first sip to set the taste buds, the second sip to really get an idea of where those flavors are. 110.5, that should have a little bit of a hey, hot cha cha going on there.
This is amazing. Absolutely amazing. Now starting to get a little bit of a gentle warming in the chest. There's a nice little bit of sting on the palate. There's no way. If you handed me that, I would say maybe between 90 and 100 proof. I mean, it doesn't sip like it's 80 proof. Not like the Patriot Eagle we had last week. That was 80 proof.
Yeah, that hit hard.
Yeah.
That hit very hard. I was looking for the mash bill because this is a mix. It's a wheated bourbon, as they describe it, and it is corn, red winter wheat, and malted barley. But I thought I had the mash bill here. I will search for that, but give me a little bit more of what you're getting.
The first thing that hit me was like a dark fruit right away, and then it went to oak and the caramel and the vanilla that you would expect. That's just wonderful. And I'm stunned between on the nose and on the palate. I would never guess that's 110 proof. All
right, I'm going in. I'll figure out what the mash bill is if I can find it. I thought I had it. I'll search for it. This is the Maker's Mark Cask Strength, 110.5 proof, made for the Brave is what this is right here. I'm going in. Here we go.
He's going in, ladies and gentlemen, and he's doing what we like to call the Saginaw Swish, the Memphis Munch, the Chattanooga Chomp.
Haha. Okay, you are a stronger man than me.
Oh. Really?
Oh. It's syrupy, dude. It is just the sweetness. It really does hit a little spicier than I thought it would. Only now, there's the heat in the center chest.
Took me a while.
There. A little delayed. Also back of throat. Now you feel it there almost like it's coating.
It does coat the tongue.
There is real oak. The vanilla is... Maybe, if I'm going to knock this at all, it's a little sweeter than I want it to be.
Okay.
It almost could get away from you and get into syrupy. A syrupy sweet. Holy mackerel. You know this is going to be a banger on a cube. This is going to crush on a cube. This is from Maker's Mark right here. This is the made for the Brave Cask Strength whiskey, 110.5 proof. Fingers Malloy, is this in your liquor cabinet for $45 a bottle? By the way, I found this at Costco.
What?
It was at Costco.
Was it $45 at Costco?
I want to say it was actually a little bit less, but it might have been right around that point. So I'm going to say $45. Holy mackerel. Holy mackerel. It might be too sweet for me, but the flavors are there. I would just want a little less on that vanilla sweetness.
So for me, as someone who is probably the sweet tooth on the show, this is wonderful. This could make a list for me.
I get that.
It's great. And I was going to ask you if, because this is a Memorial Day bottle and we're getting into the middle of July, if it was actually discounted, but you got it at Costco, so you don't really know.
I don't know. And I've got a bunch of really good things while I was there, but we will drink those in the weeks ahead. Find everything at eatdrinksmokeshow.com. Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies. We do that in honor of Stevie Nicks. Is she really dead?
No, she's not dead.
I didn't think she was. Why did you lead me to believe she was gone?
Because I was telling you lies, telling you non-sweet little lies.
Now I get what happened. It's Eat, Drink, Smoke. I'm Tony Katz. That is America's favorite amateur drinker, Fingers Malloy. Now, Fingers spent part of his youth as a bartender. Fingers is the guy who was behind the bar, and you'd belly up, and he'd be like, "What can I do for you, sport?" Right?
Were you there? Did I serve you?
You did not. You told me that my ID was fake, and I said, no. My real name is Desi Arnaz. But there was a story that Fingers found about lies that bartenders tell. White little lies. And I assume top of that list is, yeah, I'm single. Why?
Wow.
No? Am I wrong?
Yes, you're wrong.
I didn't say you said it. I said bartenders.
Oh, okay.
I think, right?
Here's my experience, at least at the bar I worked at, which was kind of a college bar.
Right.
Steamers in Saginaw, still open. Saginaw, Michigan. Yeah, Steamers.
Not too late. You can have yourself a career resurgence.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But it's a young man's game.
Yes.
But my experience was all the bartenders were single for a reason.
Yes. That is accurate.
I mean, when you're serving young college age women a Zima with a shot of amaretto in it, while they're stuffing quarters in a jukebox, playing Jagged Little Pill on repeat,
I want you to know, I'm so happy for you. So here are the lies. White lie number 1: the blender is broken.
The blender was always broken after 9 p.m. It's funny how it would work. it had, it was a warring blender. And for some reason, right around 9 o'clock, when things started to get busy, the thing would crap out.
That's too bad.
It was too bad.
That's a shame. What would they want in the blender?
Strawberry daiquiri, strawberry margarita, stuff like that.
Right.
And, when you have wall-to-wall customers, and this was a bar where people were standing, there was very few seats, you're not going to spend 3 minutes making a daiquiri in a blender, and then you got to clean the blender. So, it's like, listen, the blender machine is it's broken, but how about a Zima?
How about a Zima? Well done. Well played. Mentioning that they've tried something on the menu. So if I would come in and I'd be like, hey, how are these potato skins? And you'd say to me,
we don't serve food here. We do have a lovely popcorn machine in the corner. Help yourself. So apparently that's one thing. But you can I got to ask you this.
Yeah, go ahead.
When you go into a restaurant and you are undecided, do you even ask?
Oh, of course I do.
You do?
Of course I do.
Do you really think you're getting this true scoop?
I can tell when I'm not.
You can?
Oh, absolutely.
You read minds, do you?
I know when someone's full of crap.
Do you?
That right there. Yeah. I think most people can tell when it's like, this person doesn't even know what I'm saying. This person has no idea.
I did that the other day. I was at a local brewery here.
Yeah.
And I had a choice. I had a hankering for a breaded tenderloin sandwich. But I also looked at the menu and saw that they had some interesting pizza options available. Ooh. So when the waitress came over, I said, "Waitress, I'm undecided. Do I go with the pork tenderloin or do I go with pizza?" And she's just looking down at her pad going, pork tenderloin.
Did she really?
Yes.
Should have just gotten up and left.
That's what I should have done.
Just gotten up and left. You won't get my business, Toots. Should have called her Toots.
Wow.
All right?
Yeah.
I'd be like, by the way, it's stewardess, not flight attendant. And then you should have walked right out.
And I would have enjoyed the extra spit I had on my tenderloin.
But you would have walked out, so you wouldn't have gotten the tenderloin.
Oh, that's true.
See, my plan works for all things.
So you do ask.
Yeah, I do ask. I do ask. And sometimes you'll be surprised by somebody who knows what they're doing. No, well, you want to try this over here because boom, 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 boom. And I'll be like, sounds great. If I already don't know what I want, what do I care what I've gotten? I'm just playing crap. So I'm hoping that everything works out and I don't end up with that explosive diarrhea parasite.
There it is.
That's all I'm hoping for in this world. I'm a simple man.
I don't know of too many shows where you get a diarrhea callback.
Right?
But you get it right here.
And a Stevie Nicks callback. I'm just saying. You're not going to get that from Andrew Schultz. No, you're not. I don't know why I called him out, but whatever.
Whatever.
Yeah. On the white little lies or the white lies bartenders tell, saying they are out of an ingredient during rush. Same thing as the blender issue.
Yeah, we sold a lot of Corona.
Yeah.
And you know what? We're out of line.
How lazy were you?
Wasn't about being lazy. You got 30 people deep in line trying to get a drink. And you don't have to say, "Excuse me, I know you would like a drink, but I have to cut some fruit." No.
Didn't you prep?
We did, but on a Saturday night, sometimes you get slammed.
You don't know how to par level. You don't know how to get it up to. That's cheap. That is. I would not have stood for that for a second.
Not when I could say, "Listen, we're out of line, but how about a Zima?"
You win. You win. They're unable to change the music or the air conditioning. Now, the fact that someone would ask, that's craptastic.
What is it about bartenders not being able to work the remote control on televisions? That seems to be universal. It's always they grab the remote and they hit the buttons and they hit the back. And
Why would you ask the bartender? You should be asking the manager. The bartender shouldn't have any access to the TV whatsoever. A bartender should never have access to a television or to the air conditioning.
Not everyone goes to these highfalutin bars that you go to, Tony. A lot of us go to hole-in-the-wall bars. Manager? You kidding me? Manager? There's a bartender on duty.
Bartender's job is to get me my drink, and then when whatever the song is that's supposed to come on comes on, get up on the bar and dance.
The bar I worked at, you were a bartender, a barback, and a bouncer. Manager.
Really?
Let me get the CEO over here to help you out.
Did you ever go full Coyote Ugly?
I was very fortunate that I never had to throw anyone out. I never had to throw hands, as we used to say in the business.
I've thrown people out of a bar.
Oh, I've kicked people out of the bar, but it never got violent.
Did it ever questioningly get violent?
I'm pretty fortunate being that I'm 6'3" and, 210 pounds. Where that really wasn't much of, I didn't run into that too often.
Did you ever have to take the long neck bottle out of somebody's hand and then reverse the grip so they knew it was cracking over their head and that they said another word? Oh, is that just me? Okay.
What bar did you work at?
Oh, fingers. I don't talk about much about my history. But I'm going to say this for the record. Daddy did things. And that happened more than once. And it never escalated after that. Because you're right. People don't mess with you because of size. People will try and screw with me. Yeah. Once. To quote Johnny Dangerously. Johnny Dangerously references. Gosh, we're on fire. Eat, drink, smoke. It is your cigar, bourbon, foodie extravaganza. I'm Tony Katz, and that right there is America's favorite amateur drinker, Fingers Malloy, and we are smoking the Casa Cuba Divine Inspiration 6 1/8 by a 47 in the ring gauge Ecuadorian Habano, and it's a lovely, lovely smoke. It is a little spicier than I may want right now, but it is not an overwhelming piece. Fingers has described it as the white pepper that's hitting. I don't know if I'm totally there, but I get that it's bright, and I'm willing to go with that. There's definitely that wood. It has been a nice, touched up once or twice, but that's sometimes, right, it's a victim of the show that we're doing as opposed to just being able to sit and relax and enjoy a cigar. It has been a very, very nice piece, although I have seen a bunch of people describe it as creamy, and I don't know if I would go that far.
So this is what I was going to ask you, because we're well into the second third of this cigar, getting close to the final third. I'm starting to pick up that pepper for me, for the most part, has gone away.
Yeah,
it's a little bit, it's still there, but I'm starting to feel like I'm getting a little bit of a leather note. I'm not getting any nuttiness that you mentioned earlier, but I feel like there's
wood. Are you getting a richness in the cheek, or are you getting a different spice hit?
It's hitting me on the roof of the mouth and on the tongue. The wood is still there, but it's starting to subside a little bit, and I'm getting this other note that feels like leather to me.
I can see that. I can see that developing on the tongue. That richness that is in there. I was going again over somehow some people reviewed this back in the day, going back to the guys at Half Wheel, where they were getting things like cinnamon and peanut butter.
Wow.
Cinnamon, no. There's no part I get that is cinnamon on this at all. I think peanut butter is a very interesting conversation because I said there was a nuttiness.
Yeah, okay.
And so when I'm talking about nutty cream, I've never once equated it to peanut butter. Usually I find myself in the almond or cashew. When you chew it enough and you got kind of like that pasty thing going on, like that flavor, I happen to love that flavor, joyous with that flavor. The peanut butter is a really interesting one, and I don't know if I'm incepting myself to that. But you had brought up the leather. Are you getting any oak? Are you getting any other woods? No, none.
It's just a general wood note. You know how sometimes you'll smoke a cigar and you're like, oh, that's cedar. I mean,
yeah.
It's just wood. Okay.
Right.
But I don't, is it like the oak that you get from a bourbon? No, not really. It's wood.
I think leather is actually a pretty good pickup. I think it's a nice way to describe it because it's not a spice. It's more of I often say that sometimes when you're picking up spice, you're actually picking up leather, and it's a leather spice. And sometimes when picking up spice, it's actually the wood. It's the cedar, right? And being able to kind of distinguish that stuff, that just comes with time, right? And a willingness to say that isn't what I get from pepper. It's something different that I get, and being able to say, no, I want to research this. I want to feel this. I want to understand this. So maybe that's it. Maybe it is that leather. I'm really taken by this concept of peanut butter, and because that's never, ever a flavor I've brought to a cigar before, but maybe as a descriptor is interesting to discuss a nuttiness that also has a creaminess.
Yeah.
Right? I do it as this nutty paste thing. And so the difference between a peanut and an almond or a peanut and a cashew is that actually accurate here? What I will tell you is at $15 a stick, yeah. Absolutely. 6 1/8 by 47. Absolutely, the Casa Cuba, divine inspiration from Arturo Fuente. And drinking from Maker's Mark, this is what they call their cask strength, made for the Brave right here. This, you can see that label coming in at 110.5 proof, and this supports POVAT. Project One Vet at a Time is the name of that. And it was a really more sweet than I thought it would be. But the classic flavors, vanilla, caramel, oak, bam, right there. Surprising at $44.95 a bottle. Surprising, but I'm going to add mine to some ice.
So you said that it's a little too sweet for you.
Yeah.
For me, I love it. And I mentioned earlier that I feel like this could be on one of our lists at the end of the year. Now, it'll be interesting to see if maybe adding it to a cube will take a little bit of that sweetness away.
I'm going in. We're going to find out. So a cube, what it does is it brings down proof. And 110.5 proof, maybe that's a good thing. But there's been zero ethanol. Zero ethanol on the nose and no burn. No real burn going down. Quite something. I mean, it had a little bit of a kick for me, not so much for fingers. But ice will bring down proof. And ice or water, it will make some flavors more muted, some more pronounced. And that you want to open it up, the bourbon. You got to try it in all the ways, see which way you really like it. Let's go in.
He's going back in, ladies and gentlemen, and he's doing the Kentucky Chew. Oh, is he happy?
Son of a mother. Wow. It cut the syrup content in half.
I was just about to say percentage-wise, what are you
Half.
thinking? Half. Wow.
Right. Now, it's interesting. It comes off with a little bit of a bitter finish. I dig that. Like, I have never had a problem with that at all. Excuse me.
Oh, look at you going back in for seconds. Well, good.
Now, Fingers added just a little bit of water to his. Just a little bit of water. You can do that. You can pour it in. You can use a dropper, which Fingers refuses to use,
That's
even though
not true.
people have bought him droppers.
I just moved. Still in a box.
9 months ago. 9 months ago.
A year.
You figure it out. Figure it out. He's going in. He's taking his sip right there. Oh, heat center chest. Delayed heat center chest. Hey, now. I'm Matthew McConaughey in Wolf of Wall Street. Damn. Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's a knockout. On the cube.
I liked it neat.
Yeah.
It took away a little bit of the sweetness, which I didn't have a problem with. I really liked it. For some reason, for me, and I don't know if it's because I only took one sip when neat, and having now, if it brought out a little bit of heat, but it's marvelous. It especially
$44.99.
I was just about
a
to say,
bottle.
especially at that price point, it is a home run. It's in your liquor cabinet.
There's no question it's in your liquor cabinet. I would go so far, for me, not on a cube, but on a big rock or on a full glass of ice. That's a daily sipper. I don't think I've ever shared that idea before. It's not how I think. That could be a daily sipper. That is easy as a mother. Wow. Nicely done, Maker's Mark. Good work. It's time, Fingers Malloy, for news of the week.
Tony.
Explosive diarrhea. Stevie Nicks.
This topic,
Liza Minnelli.
this topic does bring for some explosive diarrhea.
Oh.
The House passed a bipartisan bill to make daylight saving time permanent.
And Senator Tom Cotton of Arkansas said, no thanks. That's a true story. I don't know what's going to happen, but you agree. This changing the clocks has to stop.
No, I'm fine with it.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that right?
I lived in Indiana when they didn't change the clock, and the sun would rise at 2:40 in the morning. 2:40 in the morning. I may be exaggerating a little. Sun rises way too early when it's on standard time in the summer. It's crazy. 4:30 in the morning, something crazy like that. It's unreal. So I true story. When I first moved here, they were talking about starting to participate in changing the clocks, and they had a town hall, and there was a guy who was a senior citizen who spoke, and he said, "I'm not gonna change my clock," and they grabbed his chest, and he fainted. He didn't have a heart attack. But people go crazy about changing their clocks.
When I moved here, and I started my morning show, as I'm heard on 93.1 FM WIBC, which also carries Eat, Drink, Smoke, I was told before I started, don't bring up daylight saving. Why not? Tony, don't bring up daylight saving. Why can't I bring up daylight saving? They were like, you know what? Your funeral. Just walked away. And they were right. It makes people absolutely crazy. Get rid of it. I'm fine with it. It is not a secret that China has a population issue. And you say to me, Tony, don't they have 1.5 billion Chinese? Well, first, I don't believe that number for a second, and you shouldn't either. And second, even if they did, it won't be for long. It's Eat, Drink, Smoke. I'm Tony Katz. That is America's favorite amateur drinker, Fingers Malloy. Find everything at eatdrinksmokeshow.com. Instagram, Eat, Drink, Smoke Podcast. Be sure to follow and subscribe, and all the videos are on YouTube. Just go to Eat, Drink, Smoke and subscribe. They are dealing with a population issue for a lot of different things, and we're going to get into this, but there's this story about how their plan to boost birth rates is to ban AI romantic chatbots.
Yeah.
Because people are saying, why have a relationship when the AI can whisper sweet nothings into my ear and I can handle everything on my own and I don't have to handle rejection and all the rest, and it's cheaper and I don't have to leave the basement and it's fine. It's not fine. It's a real problem, and it's an issue here in the U.S. as well. Not only birth rates, but people who are not getting romantic with a partner.
Yeah. And it's amazing how, if we just talk about the United States, how there seems to be a real turning of the page when it comes to a traditional life of, getting married, having children. Younger people are deciding to put off children to later in their life, or putting it off and just not having them at all, or getting married for a number of reasons. And one of them, I fear, like you mentioned, is for someone who just wants some companionship, just someone to talk to. AI is getting so much better at this, to where you can have full conversations. And of course, AI goes over the top in being positive and supportive. It's, and I could see where, if you're susceptible to that sort of thing, where you could develop a relationship with a chatbot.
It is frightening. It is sad, and it's going to keep people from having children, having families, experiencing the good things that are out there. Yes, birth rates are an issue. Now, to China specifically, if you had decades of communist rule and Chairman Mao and the one China policy, and you murdered the girls, which they did, the idea that they have an issue with population isn't surprising. The other thing that has to be remembered, anytime you're dealing with China, you're dealing with the Communist Party. The Communist Party lies. It's what they do. It is the history of communism. There's just no debate on that. So they have been making the argument that they have 1.4, 1.5 billion people. But you take a look at this one China policy and you recognize that they weren't having children. There was no way they were having children at a rate that made sense, or certainly not a replacement rate, right? 2 parents, you got to have at least 2.5 children at least 2 children for replacement, and then more than that to add. They still list China's population higher than India's population. Now, just do math. India has no restrictions. India never had, as I know it, at least in modern times, a restriction, on population. How is it possible that China, after a one-child policy, can still have a larger population than India. It's not possible. The second conversation is called the population bomb, which is to say that there is a moment where the pendulum swings the other way and people die because they die and there is no replacement. And the theory was that starting now, you would see the population bomb. And in 100 years, they would go from the 1.4 billion, 1.5 billion to somewhere between 5 and 700 million. Now, that makes sense when you do math. I know you're talking about human lives here, but we're not talking about people who are killed by any other means other than the life cycle. I argue that that's not starting. That's already started. And that in China, because they manipulate currency, they manipulate data, we know this for a fact, they're already losing population. And so the need to start rebuilding population was 25, 30 years ago that this had to get started as a concept. To start it now, that's a lot of too little, too late. In the United States, we have a benefit, which is we can create Americans through legal immigration. We are really the only country that does this, and it needs to be legal, needs to be done the right way and the smart way. And I don't mind that. People who actually want to be Americans and believe in the American ideal, the American dream, follow the Constitution, etc. Chinese can't import Chinese people. They can't do it by the very definition of who they are and how they exist. They can't do it. So this population issue is a massive one. The Russians have a massive population issue.
That's what I was about to touch on. I think it's Peter Zion talks about that.
Yes. He is the guy, when we talk about the population bomb, 100% the guy.
Which
we should get him on the show.
That would be great.
Is this the show that he could come on?
I don't know.
Well, let's find out.
But I think that's one of the reasons that I believe, if I remember some of the analysis that I had seen him, when he talks about Russia and invading Ukraine, it was like there was like a short window of being able to do this because of the population issues that Russia has.
Yes.
So, no, it's always interesting to see how many people are willing to take what China says at face value.
Correct.
Which is troubling, like you said, because they lie all the time. But what concerns me about this is not so much, what China is doing when it comes to this policy, but I think there is a role for AI and these types of relationships with people when it comes to seniors who are widows or widowers, when they're alone and they have no one to talk to, no one to, be able to relate to, at least if there's something there and they are with it enough to know that, okay, this isn't real, but at least it helps me get through the day. I don't see a problem with that. But people who are younger turning to this as a replacement for relationships, man, that's dark, and it's a huge problem.
And absolutely a conversation, because not only do you need relationships with other people, you need relationships with your meat. DefianceBeef.com. But you think they're still a sponsor after that segue? No?
I thought it was beautiful. I can see it coming through, right down Fifth Avenue. So I'm just sitting here going, oh, wow, here it comes.
DefianceBeef.com, from the Indiana farm to your table. Great sponsors. 21-day aged beef. I have bought a whole cow from them. It's spectacular. Chuck eye? Oh my gosh, chuck eye. Which you like in the ribeye world, spectacular. Did that one on the cast iron, but the strips, the ribeyes, the tenderloins, the sirloins, the hanger steak, the flank steak, incredible. And the briskets, the pastrami I'm doing was a Defiance Beef brisket that is right now in the brine to become a pastrami. You use promo code Eat Drink Smoke and you are going to get free shipping and a free mini share. And let me tell you, with the holidays coming, this is going to be the place, because we've got some incredible deals coming for that. And you're going to want to start now by making sure your freezer is full. Free shipping, free mini share. That's additional beef. When you go to DefianceBeef.com, use promo code Eat Drink Smoke, you're going to get free shipping. Incredible. Cut to your specification. You just tell them how thick you want your ribeyes, how thick you want your strips. Boom. That's what you're going to get. Incredible flavor with the 21-day aging. DefianceBeef.com. I use it. Fingers uses it. You should be using it too. Use promo code EAT-DRINK-SMOKE. The Casa Cuba is what we're smoking. $15 a stick. The Casa Cuba, divine inspiration. It's a yes. And the Maker's Mark Cask Strength. This Cask Strength right here at 110.5 proof. The made for the brave. Bravo. Excellent. $44.99 a bottle. Let's call it $45. Just tremendous, Fingers. Oh, you just finished.
I finished her.
You finished it. You're done.
Yes.
You want another pour?
No, let's not get crazy. But I sure would like some pastrami next week.
Well, we'll see what we can do about that. Find everything at eatdrinksmokeshow.com. Please subscribe. We'd greatly appreciate it. Download the podcast. It's Eat, Drink, Smoke.